Look what I'm crafting. Yeah, finally, let's get rid of these garbage CPUs. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to Project Ozone 3. Mythic Mode. So in the last episode we built a woot mob farm and also moved in our existing one down here. That is loud. And the woot mob farm here is for blaze rods, which we actually need in the production of our neutral steel. And right now actually it seems to be full. Yeah, now our main bottleneck is getting more draconium, but that's an okay problem to have. Anyways, in between the episodes I went ahead and passived melodic alloy. Yeah, now that we have thorium seeds, this is actually pretty cheap. And then I also went ahead and removed the entirety of our old base. Well, at least most of it. There's still stuff like the portals, the magic stuff, and apparently the enchanting table, which can definitely go by now. Yeah, we're gonna move all this stuff into the new base in today's episode. But I mean, the hard part of it is already done, which is removing the entire thing. Yeah, all that's left to do is actually build an area for it. And yeah, I also went ahead and upgraded our CPUs to 64Ks. This is the best upgrade we've had since unlocking auto crafting. It's actually so great. Like if I want a batch of capacitors, I can actually make these one stack at a time. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and multiply the recipe so that we do one stack at a time every time. And I've also been trying to finish out our ME controller slowly, bit by bit. I think we can get another 3 of these. Yes. And I also recently learned that because this multi-block is fully symmetrical, you can actually wall share the same multi-block for 3 more machine controllers on each edge. Yeah, capacitor crafting is actually really quick now. You can see it does almost 4 at a time. I made sure to also multiply these recipes. Now our main bottleneck is this crystalline alloy, so I think we'll probably have to passive this at some point. But anyways, now we get to the main subject of the episode, which is actually a massive problem that we're gonna have to tackle. So as we all know, our next long-term goal is gonna be to try and unlock EMC, which is this entire recipe. And honestly, all in all, it's not too bad. If we keep going at the same pace with the same infrastructure as we have been so far, we would be able to get it within 5 or 6 episodes. The only problem with all of this is the middle item. And this thing is absolutely insane. We literally need every singularity of every resource ever. And it's not like you need 1,000 of each. That would have been completely fine. No, you need 1,000 blocks of pretty much most of these items. So yeah, soon enough, we're gonna have to get serious about the game and scale up our infrastructure massively. Thankfully, most of this stuff has some seeds, but of course that means that this setup right here, which I once thought was going to be completely fine, is definitely not going to be enough. Oh. Apparently that was the last astral perk. Let's make it count. Ooh, 2 extra hearts doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Nice, yellow hearts. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I've started making some of the mystical agriculture seeds and 10-10-10ing them. Although these 2 seeds here are unrelated. They're actually so that I can more easily passive all the capacitor tiers. And from my searching through JEI, I think these are all the seeds that we're gonna need. And I think we'll probably start off the episode with passiving at least octadics. That's where the majority of our processing time is spent. But anyways, yeah, my heart kind of sank when I saw the singularity requirement and the amount of seeds that we're gonna have to craft. We're gonna start focusing solely on functionality. But we're not at that point yet, so we'll still continue to have some fun. First things first, starting this passive capacitor line, which means we're gonna want an area where we can set up a bunch of these crafters. And we'll also have to passive these empowerers. Although ideally, I'd like to reuse the same machine for all of the capacitors. So yeah, that's something I'll have to figure out by myself. Go away. That's always so funny. Yep, I made this room even by accident. Yeah, I'm an avid hater of even numbered rooms. Yeah, this is much better. The room actually has a center now, and it should be not that block. It should be this block right here. Oh, and I have to change out all this obsidian with some more trim as well. Alright, so here's the final build. I'll probably tidy this up later, but anyways, yeah, so the way I want to set these up is have the output drawer like that. That's why we need all this trim. Yeah, we'll see if this can actually be read by the drawer controller. Crafter on top, and Spectre coil on top of that. We also need to give it capacitors, which actually, speaking of which, I did switch out the recipe to use octadic capacitors in the crystalline ones, and that's because the vibrant alloy has a seed, while the vivid alloy doesn't. And to supply the items, I put 3 interfaces down here, 1 for each row, although it doesn't really matter because all the conduits are connected. And we'll just use ender porcupines to supply the items. And we should see, yes, this thing is crafting. All right, we'll set the drawer. And there we go. We have passive capacitors. So yeah, that's about it. I'll just have to do this a bunch more times for any other recipes. Alright, so now I present to you the passive capacitor thingamabob. So we request all the items from this interface, and then there's ME conduits and item conduits that share the block space. We then insert items into the impulse hoppers, and the only reason that's necessary is so that we can have level emitters on top instead of putting the level emitters on the conduits. So yeah, then this outputs its items into the input bus, crafts it up, and then the output goes back into our interface. We have the same thing here, but this one actually crafts the octadic capacitors, and I have these set quite high at 4 stacks, although actually, you know what, no, we'll make this 8 stacks. Yep, it should craft some more. Nice. We'll also see this thing working, and right now our main bottleneck is actually the extract speed from our interface. So I think to help with that, I'm just gonna buffer, yeah, like 65,000 of these capacitors, because of course we're not going to be running this thing full time anyway. So whenever we do need to run it, this buffer will be big enough to where we don't have to worry about the speed. Now I think we're going to have to look into moving all of this stuff. I don't really know where I should place the magic stuff. Maybe on this staircase here? Yeah, let me go ahead and build this area out, and then we'll be right back. Oh, by boom, boom. Go. Wait. Wait, that's awesome. That is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Is it in any way efficient? Probably not. Actually, no, it's quite fast. Maybe it is. Okay, check this out. So we have a little room here. I need to probably add some more details. This is looking kind of flat and garbage. But anyways, we have a couple of viaducts here, and each one is going to lead into a different mod. So the plan right now is to have this as Astral Sorcery. This one's going to be Blood Magic. This one takes you to Botania. This one takes you to Embers and also Lordcraft, because they're both relatively small mods. So, and then this one's going to be for Abyssal Craft once we get into that. And what I tried to do here is have some sort of a messy pipeline with interconnected pipes from each of the different outputs. Although I'm not sure if I should cover it like this so that you can't really see anything while you're traveling. You just see, you know, endstone. Or if I should have it exposed so that you see all the other pipes while you traverse. I'm not sure which one's better. I think we'll just start by moving everything in, and then we'll see if it looks better with the endstone or not. Now, could we have just used regular paths with staircases going everywhere? Yes, but this is much cooler. This this is so much more fun. I've never played with these before, and it's it really never gets old with these viaducts. These are so awesome. All right, so it's been a little while later. I've just been sat here trying to plan where most of the mods are gonna go, and I've just been marking their locations with like an angel block and then a sign on top. Although I've been mainly AFK to let some of the resources build up because we're completely broke right now. We're out of like energetic alloy is being sucked up. Vibrant alloy finally caught up to the buffer. Yeah, we're also out of red alloy constantly. I think we're also out of grains of infinity. So lots of rudimentary resources that we're gonna have to fix. But while that was happening, I also did increase our endstone buffer. So hopefully that should somewhat fix our draconium issue. And I literally just noticed we're almost at a full drawer of this, which is great. So yeah, all that's left for me to do now is actually build the areas and then connect them up to our viaduct system. Yeah, this hopefully shouldn't take too long. Yeah, that's a spaghetti enough pipe to make the animation look cool, right? Let's see. Yes, yes, that is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yes, yes! This viaduct system just brings me joy. I'm definitely going to be spamming this in future mod packs. Okay, let's try this one now. This is supposed to go to Blood Magic. Yes. Yep, that's awesome. Great. Very spaghetti indeed. Let's do Astral Sorcery next, which is up here, I think. Let's try this one. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yes. And then for the next one, we can have it go in between the layers like that and somehow link up to there. So something like this, and then it goes in between these two and goes to the next magic area, which is, yeah, let's do Botania somewhere like, oh, and I'm out of viaducts. Hold up. Yep. Oh, right. This thing is going to drop into the void. And then the last one is Abyssal Craft, which I guess isn't as interesting as the other ones, but it's still a pretty cool pipe. And I'm actually liking it a lot. I mean, just look at that mess of pipes and stuff. I don't like these mobs, though. Y'all can leave. What? What? Huh? What was that? What? All right. And a little bit of time later, I now present to you the Embers / Lordcraft thingy platform. I'm not good with names. So a very simple platform. I tried to make it look like a crystal and it didn't turn out that great, but it's fine, who cares? So down here we have the pressure refinery, and then I also put in a couple more emitters just in case we need them. Right now there's only 2 spots that are relevant. Of course, the beam cannon, which I forgot to place a receptor, and the cinder plinth. The spider tried to get to me. Did you see that? Let's get some light onto these platforms. Yeah, I think this area here turned out pretty decent, if I do say so myself. It's not too over the top, but it's also not totally garbage. So I'm definitely okay with leaving it like this. All right, next up, I guess we'll move Britannia. And I brought myself a cardboard box. I wonder if I can, and does it keep its mana? Good. All right. Yeah, that's great. We won't have to void the mana. Although I think we're going to want to switch to, not that one, something else for mana generation. Oh, never mind. All of these things need some runes, and we'll keep the Endo Flames for now, yeah. So now I'm over here in the hunting dimension because there is a specific block that I want to use for this build, which I know we found before somewhere here. Yeah, there we go. A slime island. Yeah, I want to use this blue slimy dirt here for the platform. Because obviously Britannia is a flower mod and flowers need soil. But I don't want to use regular dirt because I think that would look a little bit too out of place. Although I was also hoping to find some green dirt. Maybe there is another slime island that I missed in the Lost Cities. Oh, maybe the purple one can also work just as well for what I want it to do. Yeah, it's 1500 blocks away, but it's going to be worth it. Oh, there's a green slime island here anyway. All right, and now I present to you... just wait. It takes a little minute. The new and improved Britannia area. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the slimy dirt is throwing me off. I always use this when I design Britannia areas, but it does look pretty out of place here because we're in a void world. Although usually there would be, you know, dirt and grass that would kind of contrast it. But I mean, this is still fine. So now I did do a little bit of color coding for each different part. And so obviously purple is the walkways. The blue section is for mana generation because I'm thinking of having localized mana generation for each different part. And so over here, this is gonna be for regular mana pool crafting, and then over here we can have the terrestrial agglomeration thing, which will also pull from this mana pool. Over here we can have a couple of runic altars. Matter of fact, let me just place that one here. And over here I want to have the elven gateway portal. We'll probably need some more mana pools somewhere, like this one over here especially. We'll want a big buffer here. And I also noticed I didn't put a area for our pure daisies. Let's just quickly do that. Yeah, something like this is fine. There's probably going to be a couple of changes that I'll make to this in between the cuts. Although for now, it should be fine. Alright, we're back. I got a couple more mana spreaders. About to craft some more Endo Flames soon. But for now, 16 is going to be fine. Let's say maybe 6 of these flowers should be enough. Over here, I think we can also get away with just 6. Although maybe I'll place down 8 just in case. And over here, I think I'm going to have... How much is this? 15 times 2. So 30 Endo Flames. That's going to be a lot. We have to consider the fact that this is going to be used for Terra Steel. So we are going to want as much mana as we can get. And actually 30 might not even be enough. Alright, yeah, there we go. The mana generation is done. So over here we have all of these Endo Flames. Alright, now all we need to do is get an ME connection down there. I guess we'll give this thing a fresh P2P. It probably wouldn't hurt. I think actually by now I can probably get a few more controllers. Oh, we're missing some plastic, but we can actually already get the rest of the PCBs. And the plastic is not that bad. Let's get a bunch here. And it's not even that many bytes. Thanks to the CPU upgrades that I made in between the cuts. So the 1Ks have been upgraded to 16Ks each, and the 64Ks, well, I just added a second one to each of the CPUs. Matter of fact, there's been so much time that the PCB is already done. Anyways, so here's the final setup. So what we have here, well, our ME connection that connects to an interface. We provide the coal into the precision droppers. Now this is the same as before. If there's a coal piece on the pressure plate, then it gets disabled. But we also have a second condition here to where if the mana pool is full, then we also disable the droppers. And the way we check for the fullness of the mana pool is with this circuit here. So this phantom face is connected to the mana pool. It's pretty much as if we plugged this redstone comparator straight onto the pool. But obviously because we didn't have space here, I placed it on this side. Then we compare the redstone signal of the mana pool with a redstone strength of 12, and that goes into a redstone transmitter, which then gets received by a redstone receiver. And so because the mana pool here is full, the redstone signal is on, which is disabling the precision droppers. Over on this side, we actually have 2 mana pools that buffer the mana, but it's pretty much the same principle. We read off of this mana pool and then disable the dropper if this is full. So yeah, all in all, a very simple setup. This is definitely going to see us through the end game. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we need to get too deep into Britannia in this pack at least, so it should be fine. All right, now it seems to be a good time to move on to the next mod, although I think I'm gonna move Astral Sorcery in between the episodes. I think instead it's about time that we get into Blood Magic, right? And this is all to prepare us, okay, not that recipe. This is all to prepare us so that we can get into extended crafting because we need the blank rune for black iron. And it doesn't seem too bad. Apparently, I have exoskeleton plates from somewhere. I don't actually remember killing any mobs that dropped this. I guess I'll have to go back to Erebus and find out. And then we also need Demonic Quill. And that is actually not too bad. We just need some snares here. Alright, do you drop an exoskeleton? Let's first get you to emit some particles. Hello? Okay, there we go. Nice, that one's at 3.62 quality. That's not bad. Oh yeah, this one's absolutely garbage. We'll use this for the Blood Altar craft. What? Wait, actually we're gonna... That is a crazy name for a mob, I'm not gonna lie, but goddamn, and I spawn all the way up here. Oh, I need a better spawn point. I'm also dying. Wait, how am I gonna... Okay, thank goodness I have Soulbound on the backpack. There we go. I'm gonna grab some golden apples this time. We get this from the mob farm. We have a couple stacks. Yeah, with some ender pearls so that we can teleport back. Also, somehow I lost my magnet, so I think I'm gonna craft the item dislocator. Does need a regular dislocator, which isn't that bad. Yeah, we can even get this sugar-infused core. And then we apparently smelt this thing for something. And I guess while we're here, I should also compact down these powders into the rods. And that should be it. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, then it's a simple upgrade to this. What's the next tier? Okay, we can't get that yet, but this should be a bit of a better magnet because we can actually toggle it with a keybind. Oh, I didn't lose my magnet. It just went into my curio slot. Well, too late. We already got this one. But yeah, this one goes into curio slot and you can actually toggle it from there instead of having to hold it in your hand first. Anyways, back to Erebus. Oh, it's the beetles that drop the exoskeleton. I guess I'll go look for beetles then. Although, do we even need that much of this stuff? Okay, it's actually used quite a lot, so maybe in the future we'll have a powered spawner for them. Anyways, this should be our blood altar. Nice. And I think the quest is locked behind the Sanguine Scientum. And we also need coagulated blood drops, which needs 5 minutes to dry, apparently. And I only have 1 coagulated blood. That sucks because I literally just took down the smeltery because I didn't think we were gonna need it anymore. Yeah, whatever. I'll set it up again temporarily. We'll smelt down some rotten flesh, and then we can cast this into some more coagulated blood. Alright, and then I just have to dry this for like 5 minutes. So yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, there we go. These are now done. I didn't do much while waiting. All I did was craft this titanium armor set. And it's actually a pretty solid armor set. Anyways, there's the book. Alright, cool. Now we just need the sacrificial dagger. Alright, now as usual, we're gonna have a very garbage platform for all of this. I also don't really know the space requirements, so until we've got that figured out, this is the platform that we're gonna have. Cool, we're donating blood. Ooh, we get a divination sigil from the quest. And I think right now we're gonna try and get the incense altar, some blank runes, and the blood orb, and also the hellfire forge. And I think it seems that we're gonna want to start with the blood orb first, which is a Lordic rune stone of fire. That's scorching crystal and Lordic rune stone, which is from the same thing, which is from Lordic stone and simple rune. And this one is from... Okay, that is a lot of steps. I think we can get it, though. Oh, I'm missing some more research. Thankfully, though, unlike last time, we have plenty of ironwood to make as much inscription tiles as we need. Yeah, there's a stack right there. 2 stacks? 3 stacks? 4 stacks? Okay, maybe not. But yeah, these are not bad at all. Okay, there we go. That's the first step. Then we combine this with Lordic Stone, which I think we did get a while ago by now. Then it's a Shapeless Craft into the utility version. Now we need a Runestone Crafter, actually, which doesn't look that great. I think I'm gonna need another Arcane Workbench. Oh, actually, I still have some Carmonite left. Yeah, nice. Alright. Okay, and there we go. There's the Runestone Crafter. Let's see. And we can even disassemble it. Alright, now we bathe this thing in my own blood. And there's the Blood Orb. Alright, and there's the incense altar. Also gonna want a condensed flame so that I can craft this into the Hellfire Forge. And then with a couple of ingredients and some demonic will, we can get some tartaric gems. And this is the third and last one. Now, if I drop those demonic wills and pick them back up, they should go into my tartaric gem. We can also combine an iron sword with the other tartaric gem. And that gives us a sentient sword, of course. So yeah, this we can use to hunt for demonic will without the snares. Ooh, and I'm also gonna go ahead and enchant this with some looting, unbreaking, and sharpness. Although I don't think I'm actually gonna need the sharpness with the way that I'm gonna actually use it. But still, it's nice to have. So now we'll go to the hunting dimension. And I think if I hold the sentient sword in my main hand and then the shuriken in my offhand, can I now collect demonic will without using the sword itself? Oh yeah, it is working. Yeah, the demonic will is going up. We're at 22 now. What? Apparently I shot myself. Oh, and I'm back here. You know what? No, this time I'm just gonna use /back. I don't care. Alright, there we go. The Tartaric gems are both full. Let's go back. And actually, already we can upgrade our Tartaric gem to the next tier. Oh, but we did lose all the will that's contained in it. At least we can transfer the one from the petty to the lesser. I think last thing we should look into is the runes, which is imbued inscription tiles. How many can we get? 1 stack? That's good enough. And because I want this to be slightly automated, I'm gonna place down 2 chests, some Signalum plated impulse item ducts, because these are the only ones that I had. And then we'll use one servo to extract, one retriever so that we can insert. And I'm gonna set this one to be one item. Then we'll blacklist imbued inscription tiles from being extracted. So what should happen is once we put the tiles in there. Oh, I need to enable this, of course, yeah. Yep, it goes into here. Wait, is it already done? Yes, it is. We have a blank slate. Awesome. Not a quest apparently, but cool, we have that. We'll also do the incense altar. So now we should be able to sacrifice more at once. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it for now. We have more than enough blank slates to at least get started with. Actually, no, that's a lie. We don't have enough. In this pack, it's 2 blank slates for each rune, and we need 8 of these. So yeah, I have a little bit more sacrificing to do, but... Alright, so we're back after a little bit, and I went ahead and crafted myself an environmental controller here, and I also got a regeneration plus module and a saturation plus module. And so effectively, this is just like a beacon that works with power, and you can even configure the range that it works in, but the more range you have, the more power it uses. So I pretty much just limited it to whenever I'm right here next to the altar, because that's really the only place I actually need it to be at. And so yeah, we get constantly saturated and constantly regenerated, which means I can sacrifice a lot in one sitting, as long as I don't have this effect called Sulfray. Yeah, it lasts for like 20 seconds or so. And if you try to sacrifice while you have the effect, then you get absolutely no blood. But yeah, so far we have half a stack of blank slates, which is going to be enough. Yeah, let's get 8 blank runes like we needed. And then I guess these extra 8 we'll use for black iron. And yeah, now we can upgrade the blood altar to tier 2. Now what we should be able to do is add a blacklist for blank slates. It'll continue crafting now, yes, to the next tier. Nice, there we go. Reinforced. And with this one, we can take one of our blank runes and make it into the rune of self-sacrifice. Oh, but actually we need the next tier of blood orb, which is apprentice, and that's actually only a redstone block, which is very, very cheap. And yeah, with this we should be able to craft the rune of self-sacrifice. Nice. Which all it does is just give us more blood per sacrifice. Maybe now actually we can sacrifice once, let the sulfate effect run out, and yeah, we still haven't run out of blood. Can we sacrifice and we fill the altar back to capacity? So effectively we're generating more blood than we consume right now, at least whenever we're crafting the blank slates. But actually I think with that we're gonna wrap up the episode here. We've done plenty of progress for one day, and now that I've spent some time with these pipes being exposed like this, I don't actually think I like it like that anymore. So I think I will actually end up covering all this up with some endstone, or maybe I'll reconfigure the pipes to make them look better. Yeah, I'll try and experiment with this in between the episodes. I'm thinking next time we're gonna jump into the side chapter and get a start on some of these extended crafts, and maybe if we have enough time we'll be able to get some of the singularities, but I at least want to get the 7x7 crafting table. We'll also want to look at these tier 5 seeds. I had a look at them earlier, and there's actually some really good ones like draconium. We can get vibrant alloy, end steel, terra steel, refined obsidian, enderium. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones here. And actually neutral steel shouldn't be as much of a problem for these ones, because we get superium essence from withers. So if we just kill a bunch, then we won't have to deal with that slow system. But while that does sound fun, it's gonna have to wait until next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this one, but for now though, have a great rest of your day.